So we are going to start tearing our canopy down here. This has been used for 2 years, and it's been a great asset for us. But now that we have our porch, we don't really need this thing up anymore, and so it is time to tear it down. All right, folks, well, there we have it. It is down, it is gone, it is been put away for good. Hopefully we won't be bringing that out anytime soon. It really opens up the back area here. I mean, it really does, and it's so awesome for us. So really the next step out here, now that this is gone, is, we do have some plans for this. We want to level this out. We want to get the picnic table, get a umbrella for that. More importantly, get a fire pit out here. So we've got a little bit of time before we start working on that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Oh, I have one more thing to show you guys. I'm so excited that I got this done. I didn't do any filming on it, primarily because it was kind of boring. But we had a big milestone today, in addition to working on tearing down the old canopy, and that is we finally have access to the forest floor from the homestead. Check this out. We built a ramp from over here by our fire pit and outhouse. There's the outhouse. We built the ramp where we can take the tractor down now and we can get out here. That's important because when we start working on the road, I need an access point here so we can lay our timber into the ruts, the old skidder ruts, so we can start building up our road. Now, if you're new to our channel, I did a video several months ago, back when we had snow. So this area out here, this little clearing, this is where we're going to be putting our barn once we get out there. Now we've got a lot of work to get out there, but that's the area we're going to be heading to. But the fact that we can now take the tractor and come down here, you know, onto the really the forest floor is just huge for us. So I mean, it doesn't look like much right now except for a lot of green, but you guys just stay tuned because we got a lot of big surprises coming here soon. So all right, well, with that said, the sun's going down, bugs are coming out, and I'm heading inside. Oh, and what I mean by having the tractor go down onto the forest floor, if you take a look at our earlier videos, where all of our buildings are sitting, this used to be forest. The folks that we purchased the property from back in the early 90s, they came through, they clear cut all this, and then they brought in tons of material to lift up and get a pad. You can still see remnants of that pad. Matter of fact, I'll show you this one right here. This is where the ramp is. So, I mean, it's hard to tell, but all the way around where our buildings are is a ledge. I mean, it goes all the way around. So, but this is the first time we've actually been able to get down to the forest floor, raw virgin ground, and it's huge. So, all right, I'm getting eaten. Time to go inside. Hey folks, welcome to Hanbleceya Ranch. My name is Jason, and along with my wife Jen, we retired in the summer of 2021, leaving the city, leaving the rat race, moving out here to Maine to homestead off-grid. We came out here with no skills, we came out here with no experience in homesteading, especially off-grid. We're building a life for ourselves out here. Today's video is the beginning of our next big project here on the homestead. That is that we're building a 16'x20 carport. So let's get started. So the first step here is to protect the 4x4 posts. Jen is using a combination of used motor oil and diesel fuel. We are trying to recycle what we have, and we have a lot of the used motor oil. So she's basically just putting a very liberal coat on each side. We're going to start on this side, and then she'll flip them over and so forth. And while she is working on this, I've got to figure out where it's going. Good morning. It's so awesome outside. It's beautiful, beautiful morning. A couple of days off, primarily due to the weather. But, today, we're going to get started on our foundation for the carport. The foundation is going to be a little bit different than what we've done in the past. We're actually using blocks and cinder blocks to build the foundation. When I say foundation, what I'm really talking about is where we're going to be putting the posts, because we can't put the posts in the ground. So since we can't put the posts in the ground, we've got to come up with another way to have the post stand vertical and not move while supporting the weight, of the roof. So gotta get a few things set up and ready to go, and then we'll get started. All right, so we've got all of the cinder blocks and the flat blocks here, or the solid blocks. So really the next thing I've got to get started is we have to create small pads for each of these, pads. I've got some screened gravel here that we're going to use to build the pads with. When it comes to being level, this is going to have a raw gravel floor to it. I am not so concerned with leveling the pads to each other. And the reason for that is because the top of the post will all be level, and then we'll build off the top of the post. So to get started, I'm going to start over here in this far corner and start making some pads. One of the coolest things about living where we live is our flag. That flag represents so much for Jen and I. And even with the wind blowing and the beautiful sounds of the trees, blowing in the wind, when that flag slaps and you hear it, it's just very magical, very emotional. Hits me right in the feels. Yeah, well, so we've got all of our pads in place. Now, just because I have the pads in place doesn't mean we're done with the pads. There's a couple of things that I need to do. Number one, I have to build up around them, around the edges. But before I can do that, I have to square all of the pads.